For more on this, let's now cross to SABC's news reporter Ayanda Mhlongo in Pietermaritzburg. Good afternoon to you, Ayanda. Well, I would imagine that, it is a nervous time for the ANC, particularly in the province, when you consider, of course, that the election results in the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal as well as Gauteng did not come out as expected. And a big concern here is that one or either both of these structures might be dissolved. Just talk to us about what you are hearing and what you're seeing in as far as President Cyril Ramaphosa of the ANC is concerned.
Very good afternoon to you, Unati, and good afternoon to our viewers. Well, certainly, Unati, important points that you raised there, and that's exactly why the leadership of the ANC, led by President Cyril Ramaphosa, the National Working Committe, has descended on the province of KwaZulu-Natal. The president is here in Pietermaritzburg, and this falls under the ANC's Moses Mabhida region, which is the third largest region of the ANC here in KwaZulu-Natal. Of course, you have the 7 other top 7 officials. They are also deployed across the 11 regions, of course, assisted by other members of the NWC, the NEC, as well as the provincial executive committee members from KwaZulu-Natal. And they are on a very crucial meeting, a weekend here in KwaZulu-Natal. Firstly, of course, it's to assess, as you're saying, the performance of the ANC and this in the past general election, which, of course, as you're saying, is not what they had hoped for. You'd remember, Unati, that in particular the president of the ANC himself, he spent a considerable amount of time here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. And I think, Unati, if you looked at the times that President Cyril Ramaphosa was in KwaZulu-Natal, as well as the members of the NEC of the ANC, the time that they spent in KwaZulu-Natal was certainly more than any other province. And that was, of course, to stress the fact that they understood how important the province of KwaZulu-Natal is to the ANC, that not only does this province have the highest numbers in terms of the membership, but also in terms of votes. The ANC has said that a large chunk of their votes come from the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and so it was very important for them to pay enough attention to this province, and they did everything that they could, Onati, from what the ANC leaders have said. The NEC was here ahead of the elections. They deployed additional members of the NEC to the province to assist the province as it prepared for the elections. But despite all the effort that they had put into the province of KwaZulu-Natal, unfortunately, the results were not what they envisaged. From a majority down to now the third biggest party here in the province, with just over 17%. So the meeting today by the president and, of course, the other officials as they're crisscrossing the province is to speak, one, to the regional executive committees, to get from them the assessment and to get from them what went wrong. And thereafter, they are also going to then be meeting with the branches who are very, very crucial on the ground. That a lot of members of the ANC, card-carrying members of the ANC on the ground, left the ANC and then joined, in particular, the Mkhonto Wesizwe party, which the ANC in this province has admitted to the fact that they possibly underestimated former President Jacob Zuma. But they were saying to us earlier on, when we spoke to the provincial secretary, Onati, that they have now closed the Jacob Zuma chapter. He has now been expelled from the party, and they now need to, of course, it's going to be important for them to assess. They know that the Jacob Zuma factor is what hurt them mostly, but also there were many other challenges that they were also dealing with. You'd know, Tunati, that ahead of the elections, the ANC across the country, I suppose, was faced with a myriad of challenges: dysfunctional municipalities, issues of service delivery. I mean, right here in the capital city, here in KwaZulu-Natal, the city is falling apart. It's dilapidated. Just simple things: water, electricity, jobs. People here have been saying in the build-up to the elections that all is not right, and so these are the things that the ANC leaders are going to have to look at. They also are a meeting with Unati, their mayors, in different municipalities as well, just to get in terms of the state of the municipalities, which is also going to be quite crucial. And then what they're saying is that once they've done this assessment, they're now going to then map the road ahead. What now happens to the ANC? But you mentioned also then in your introduction, Onati, call whether disillusionment and whether or not issues around whether or not this leadership of the ANC, what should happen in terms of the future of this leadership. There has been those calls. There are members within the ANC who are saying that the current leadership of the ANC in this province has failed, and they're the leaders that led the ANC to getting losing their majority, should I say. And there have been calls that maybe this leadership should be disbanded. Of course, when we spoke to the spokesperson of the ANC, or the acting spokesperson of the ANC, Zuko Kodlimpe, it's something that they did not want to speak to about that. That's not the focus of their visit today. But one cannot ignore the fact that on the ground there are members of the ANC who are saying that in order for the ANC to be able to move forward, they have to disband the current leadership of the ANC, and even still possibly called to even disband some of the regional executive committees in the respective regions, because collectively they have failed the ANC, and they believe that this is not the leadership that can take the ANC to the next election, which will be the 2026 election. So the president is currently inside the City Hall. It is a closed meeting, Zonati, so the media has not been allowed to listen in on those meetings. He's now meeting with the regional executive committee. Thereafter, he'll take a short break, and that's when we hope that we'll get a word in with the president. And in the second leg of today's visit, he's then going to meet with the branches. Let me just quickly step out of shot. Not a lot though happening outside, but just for viewers, just to get a little bit of a sense of what is happening here outside. Not as many people as we've possibly seen in previous engagements, previously, particularly here in this province when the president was here in town, even if he was going to be meeting with the leaders of the party, but you would find quite big crowds, members of the ANC coming out to at least just get a glimpse of the president. So in terms of the numbers that we see, of course, these are the branch leaders, these are the branch chairpersons and the branch secretaries that have been invited to this meeting. But just apart from them, and just looking at the numbers on that, I mean, this is the third largest region, and the numbers of people that we see here, I don't think it's enough. It's all the branches that should be here. And of course, I'm speaking, having covered extensively the ANC in this particular region and knowing the numbers that we've previously seen. So I'm not too sure how many people are here from the branches, which branches are being represented today. But we will be speaking, of course, to the spokesperson of the ANC and hopefully get a word in from the president as well. Onati?
And well summed up. Thank you so much for that. Of course, we will keep tabs on you and developments there, given the fact that this is a closed meeting. But that's our senior reporter there, Ayanda Mhlongo, in Pietermaritzburg, where the ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa is leading, of course, the leadership delegation there to meet the party structures in KwaZulu-Natal.